Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retro Union Collectors channel today. And today we are taking a look at the Studio Series SS8607 Dinobot Slug and Daniel Witwicky down here. So to start off, we can take a look at this box here, and this box is massive. So on the front here we just have, the open plastic window that's going away soon. We got SS8607 here, the 86 movie logo there. Dinobot Slug and Daniel Witwicky with a nice Autobot logo there. On the side here, we got some art of Slug, or Slug, whatever, and Daniel up here. Right here we have the 86. On the back here, we got a picture of Slug in his robot mode as well as his dinosaur mode, and little Daniel Witwicky here. On this side, we have just another piece of art of him. And up here, we have the 8607 again. Go ahead and take this away. As for the backdrop included with this figure, looks like this. I believe this to be from that Quintesson Pit of Judgment scene. Go ahead and put him in there. And he is so massive, he almost doesn't fit on camera. We can go ahead and get this out of here. So now that the box is away, we can take a look at him. This is Dinobot Slug here, /Slag. They changed his name because apparently slag is kind of a bad word in certain parts of the world. But he is looking very, very nice here. He's very reminiscent of that SS86, I believe it to be 06, the Grimlock. And he looks very cool. He's predominantly this nice red color with this nice gunmetal kind of color along here. It's got some of these nice like eggshell kind of white paint schemes up here, and on the Triceratops horns with some of this gold / bronzish highlights. You got some more like green and blue down here. Looking really good. His face is solid red, and it's kind of hard to see some of the details on there because of that. But it's accurate, so I'll count it. His feet are also gold, but I'm having kind of a hard time fitting this whole dude on camera just because of his size. He is a leader class, and he is like a true leader class. He's roughly the same exact size as Grimlock. If you count this up here, he's actually a little bit taller. But he is very, very nice looking. My copy seems to have some very loose knee joints here. There aren't ratchets, so it won't actually fall backwards, but it is very loose on those ratchets between the clicks. But he's looking very nice. I actually really like how this guy turned out. His transformation is a little bit tricky the first time I was going through it, but I've kind of got it down now. Feel a lot more confident about it now. But for his accessories here, he comes with this really nice blaster. Very cool looking. It is actually this gunmetal color here, but then it's painted over with this kind of gray color to it. Looks very nice. Got a scope on there. And this is like blast effect compatible at the end here. But then he also comes with this, which is this little Daniel Witwicky figure. And I don't like this. This seems kind of just like a throwaway thing. It's just like that wheelie that came with Grimlock. He has no knee articulation, so he's permanently sitting like this. He also has very tight shoulders and no elbow articulation. And there's no face. It's just a different shade of white, which seems kind of like a miss to me. They should have given it a face at least. I mean, you could have told me that this was like any character in the exosuit, and I would have believed it. So there's really nothing that says that this is Daniel, except for the box. So get that out of here. For Slug's articulation here, he has a lot of ratcheted joints, which is probably just because of how big he is. His head is on a ball joint, so you can get him looking pretty much any way you want. It is on this panel here, and I can't seem to get this panel to like hook in anywhere. So when he looks up, it just pulls up, and when he looks down, it just like shoves down in there. It's kind of a pain, but it's all right. These things on the back here can move to kind of give you room for the arms. So his arms can come out this far, and I really like this detail here, so it doesn't just look like there's nothing there. They kind of just added this whole section here, which looks really nice. His arms can come out past 90 degrees. They can also ratchet around 360 degrees, given that you make space with these things. He has bicep articulation. His arms seem kind of stubby. I feel like his arms should be a little bit longer, but that's all right. He has a double jointed elbow here to give him quite a bit past 90 degrees there. That's more so for the dinosaur mode though. And he has wrist articulation, as well as kind of due to transformation, but you can also bring his hands down as if he was wielding a sword or something. He does have waist articulation. It is very tight, on my copy at least. His legs can ratchet out that far. And if you give him room around his tail here, can ratchet back. Probably get it a little bit further. Yeah, he can go all the way. There we go. Replace his tail. And it can kick out as far as you can get it with moving this whole section here. So you can do the straight up splits if you want him to. He has thigh articulation here, as well as ratcheted knees. And you can kind of count this here. This is mostly for transformation, but he kind of has a double jointed knee there. That is kind of a pain to work with. For some reason, these joints here are really loose on mine between the ratchet snaps. And then he also has some gnarly ankle rocker joints that you can tab in there to lock it, or you can unhook it, and then it's kind of free. But all around, pretty good articulation on this guy, especially for him being so massive. Speaking of him being massive, we can get some size comparisons here. Here he is with his fellow Dinobot, the SS-8606 Grimlock. And like I was saying, they're roughly the same size. Grimlock, if you go head to head, Grimlock is actually taller. But if you count the whole like dinosaur faceplate here, Slug, is quite a bit taller. But these two look absolutely great next to each other. This Dinobot collection is coming together pretty nicely. They're all very good looking figures. Getting Grimlock out of here, we can bring in the Commander class Rodimus Prime. Now Rodimus Prime is a Commander class because he has that huge trailer, not because he's a giant figure. This is Leader class, this is Commander class, so I mean you can kind of get what I'm saying there. But they look really good next to each other as well. Get him out of there. For a Voyager size comparison, here he is with the Kingdom Cyclonus. Very, very nice figure, by the way. Review on him coming very soon. But those two look very good together. They look, you know, how they should look. The Dinobots are giant. And he's a pretty big guy, too. But he's only a Voyager. And he's like what a leader should be. Getting him out of here. And just for fun on this one, here we have the Worlds Collide Buzzworthy Bumblebee. And as you can see, this Bumblebee is still tiny. He barely even comes up to like his waist up here. Actually, not barely. He doesn't come up to his waist. But as he should be. Bumblebee should be tiny. With those out of the way, we can go ahead and get him transformed. And if you want to see the transformation guide, it'll be linked down in the description as well as up here. We can take a look at him in his Dino Mode. And here he is in his very G1 Triceratops mode. And I gotta say, this guy looks incredible in Dino Mode. I very, very much so like how this turned out. I also really like how they actually used the gun as part of the tail here. The colors kind of get thrown off, but I like how that turned out there. And this part here, let me know in the comments how this part works, because you can pop that over that and kind of give it a cleaner look right there. But for some reason, mine doesn't want to lock in down here and hold together unless I leave that down. But it's also really hard to like snap that over that without it feeling like it's going to break. So I don't know if that's supposed to like go all the way down or not. I feel like it works better if it stays like this. But it kind of seems like it's not supposed to be like that. But I really like how this looks. I like all the different colors here. You got a lot of that nice gold bronze color shining through here on the face and in the back, and especially on the tail. Then he's got that nice gunmetal gray with some of this nice darker gray here and here. You can also open his mouth just like Grimlock, and he has a little port in here for blast effects or whatever you want to put on there. He's got his big Autobot symbol right there. And so now you can also take your little Daniel Witwicky figure and kind of like how Wheelie goes on Grimlock, he has these holes right here where you can kind of put him up here, but he doesn't like to actually sit up there too well. It's the first time I've gotten that to lock on good. But that's how he looks. I'm not a big fan of this. Oh, and then I drop it. I'm not a big fan of this, so I tend to just leave it in the box. But all in all, Slug looks very nice. And I really like how this dinosaur turned out. He is quite articulated. This piece here can spin pretty much any way you want it. His little feet can move. You can kind of bend him at the knee there. And then up here, he has the ratchet joints from the arm. And then he does have double joints here, so you can kind of, bend that however you want. Pretty cool looking. He doesn't have the head spin that Grimlock has, though, but that's alright. For some size comparisons, here we have the SS8607 Slug. And here he is once again with the SS8606 Grimlock. And these two, I said it in the robot comparisons and I'll say it again, these two look phenomenal together. You can definitely tell that they're like part of a crew, you know what I mean? And I'm rather excited to get the rest of the 86 Dinobots. I think they're going to look phenomenal. But these two, they were meant to be next to each other on a shelf, and it shows. Getting Grimlock out of here. Here he is once again with the Kingdom Cyclonus. And Kingdom Cyclonus, I've actually heard, was originally supposed to be in the SS86 line, but they bumped him into Kingdom instead. I can't be 100% sure on that, but that's just what I've heard. If so, I mean, it would kind of make sense. He's very movie accurate. But they look very good next to each other. There's kind of a height comparison there. Very, very nice. Get him out of here. And for the last comparison, we have Slug here with the SS78 Sideswipe. Now, these two figures aren't really related in any way. I just think that the Sideswipe looks awesome. I got these guys at the same time. If you see my my first shopping haul video or whatever, you know that I bought these guys together. And it really just kind of shows you that this is a deluxe class, and this is what a leader class should be. Looking very nice. Get him out of here. We can go ahead and get Slug retransformed into his robot mode and take a final look at him. And here we go. So to finish this video off, I think that this is an awesome addition to my collection here. Anybody who's looking for the 86 Dinobots, definitely pick him up because he is a very worthy addition to that collection. He might have some loose joints up in the knees. That might just be my copy. I'm not sure. But he's a very, very good looking figure. and definitely will be an awesome addition to anybody's collection. So I hope you enjoyed that review. I hope you stick around and subscribe for my next one, and I hope you have a good night.